Hey, good Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Alexis Clemens here with NBC Connecticut in our weather lab. We just love it up here, and we love to be able to talk to you guys, especially on a weekend in January where I'm looking at the forecast and it doesn't feel like January. It feels more, this looks more like a March or April system here. And I want to go ahead and show you exactly what we are talking about. Rain as we go through your Saturday afternoon and evening. We can see this system here pretty closely. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Ask any questions that you might have, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. But I want to talk about what's going on here because this is an interesting setup. So see my little pointer there. You can see that this is a large area of moisture. It's even providing some severe weather to the south that stays there, but a lot of moisture heading in our direction, and it's getting actually pretty close. We'll zoom in just a second. I also want to point out this snow over in the Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay region there, making its way across Lake Michigan. That is another system that is going to impact us in a different way. So we've got rain from the system to our south, and then that little snow there, that's a cold front that's going to briefly cool us down. But the one thing you'll notice with this system for tomorrow is the wind picking up. So let's go ahead and zoom in on exactly what's going on really close to home. So you can see this rain now moving through Philadelphia, heading north of in northern Jersey here very soon, and we'll be in New York closer to the lunch hour. We're going to see this after about noon or so, and it's moving in from the south to the north here. We're tracking this rain, and it really is just rain that we're watching here. As we zoom in on Connecticut, we are dry right now. We've got a lot of moisture to work with, though, with this system. So I think some of the rain might even be a little heavy at times, which is, again, not something we typically see in the middle of January. We are climatologically in what should be the coldest time of the year. But if you are looking for a cool down, it is on the way. We're actually monitoring another system that could provide much cooler air, more of a winter-like feel by next weekend, even before next weekend there. So that's a look at those cloudy skies. Here's a look at the rainfall totals from yesterday. We did see a couple of showers yesterday afternoon and evening there. Not a lot, right? About a quarter inch at best for most areas in Connecticut. And we'll, of course, add a little bit more as we go through today. I also wanted to point out temperatures. This was an odd system as well because we saw rain in the evening yesterday. And then at midnight, temperatures were in the 50s. These are temperatures that were technically the highs for today. And that's what they'll go down for in the record books. But that was at midnight. We're right around midnight there, 50 in Hartford, 51 in Meriden. Now we are in the 30s. I want to point out also 35 right now in Hartford, Middletown, Torrington. That is the average high temperature for this time of year. And that's what we're seeing here at 10:16 in the morning. So definitely still dealing with these milder temperatures here. And I'm going to go ahead and walk you through that hour by hour forecast here. So maybe a few peaks of sunshine. We have kind of seen that a little bit here and there, but you'll notice a lot of cloud cover out there. We do lift into the 40s this afternoon, calm winds. This specific hour by hour forecast is saying that rain's going to hold off until 4. I think it's possible that we could see it as early as about 1 o'clock in the southwestern part of the state there, Fairfield County, getting in on the action here within the next couple of hours. And you'll also notice some of that rain going to be a little bit moderate in times, and I'll show that future radar for you in just a second. But rain kind of sticks with us through much of the overnight hours. After midnight, we do start to dry out, but we'll still track some rain chances as we head towards tomorrow morning. So let me go ahead and grab that future radar for you because, like I said, some of it is a little heavy at times. I'm going to use this future radar because it shows our temperatures as we go through the day. We love this graphic here. It's so great. So we'll start to see these rain showers, like I said, closing in on the 1, 2 o'clock hour there, spreading across all of Connecticut. Definitely all of us seeing a rainy sunset there for your Saturday. So you can see some of that rain a little heavy at times. Take a look at that as we head into the evening and overnight hours. I think the timing here for this rain is between about 2 p.m. and midnight. That seems to be the best chance for this rainfall here. And unlike yesterday, it's a little bit heavier, it's more widespread, and it lasts a lot longer. It is a little, it could be a little on and off, periods of rain here, but I think for the most part, it's pretty continuous. So I will say, if you have any afternoon and evening plans, have the umbrella handy. Crazy that we're telling you to have the umbrella handy instead of snow boots or whatever that might be, but that's just what we're doing here in New England, because you know what they say: if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes and it'll change. And that's definitely the mantra for this week. So we'll track this rain. Like I said, it kind of starts to dry out closer to midnight. So definitely going to be rainy for most afternoon and evening plans here for your Saturday. Starting to dry out after midnight, but you'll notice not quite done with rain just yet. The system's going to be close enough, and we still have a little bit of moisture to work with to where we would see some rain showers by tomorrow morning. So heading out the door for Sunday morning, some light rain still going to be possible there. We're going to watch those temperatures, though. I'm watching those temperatures for tomorrow morning in the 30s. I could see potentially some of our a higher elevations potentially nearing that freezing mark. So we might have to watch for a little bit of some black ice out there. So that's an idea of something that we might be watching. Otherwise, the rest of us should stay well above freezing, and that wouldn't be an issue anywhere else. But those higher elevations, you know who you are. Something to pay attention to tomorrow morning. Then we kind of start to clear out there, but you'll notice this system kind of tries to provide a couple of flurries, kind of stepping through that there. Temperatures are going to fall through late Sunday and into Sunday night there. So a couple of flurries flying about, shouldn't really do much of anything, but that wind is going to be a factor. So I want to show you two more graphics that I can think of right off the top of my head. Where did it go? I wanted to also talk about how if you are heading a little bit further north, you don't have to go that far to see wintry weather. However, I don't think it's what a lot of people would enjoy. It's not snow, but there are winter weather advisories for parts of New York, the Berkshires there, higher elevations in Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and just about all of Maine under a winter weather advisory. Because from this system, while we're mainly seeing rain here, there's still a very good chance for some snow to mix in. It's not really snow. It's kind of a mixed bag of precipitation there, kind of messy later on today, the further north that you go. So, and you'll notice that winter weather advisory butts right up to Litchfield County. We are not under any here in Connecticut as of now. I don't think we will be added, but like I said, if anybody sees any issues tomorrow morning, it would be those higher elevations in Northwest and Northeast Connecticut. Otherwise, most of that is reserved for those higher elevations to our north. So like I talked about, that wind is going to be a factor as we go through tomorrow, right? So that might be something that you feel heading up over to Foxborough to cheer on the Patriots in their first home playoff game since 2019. Super exciting there. Your wind gusts are going to start to pick up as we go through tomorrow. Not a whole lot until kind of the evening hours there, but games at 8 p.m. I think we could see wind gusts through the game, potentially up to about 30, 35 miles an hour out of the west. Could impact maybe some of those field goals, extra point attempts, that kind of thing. But here's your forecast. Temperatures are going to be in the 30s for the game, tailgating as well. Hey, all things considered, not bad for a January game. I will say, though, those temperatures are a little misleading because that wind is going to be a big factor, especially as the sun sets. And that game is at 8 p.m., going to be played under the lights. And I think it's going to feel more like the 20s, maybe even the teens as we go through the game. So that's kind of what we're watching there for your Sunday night football game. But exciting to have something to talk about in New England for football in January. So super exciting there. I also wanted to show rainfall totals. Like I said, we saw a little less than a quarter of an inch of rain from yesterday's event. Now we're up to about a half an inch to an inch of that rain. That's the expected totals as we go through later on today. And depending on where those heavy bands of rain fall there, right? So right now it's kind of pinpointing that over the southeast, and that's where most of the system is going to stay there. But I think, yeah, half an inch to an inch of rain looks pretty likely. And always this time of year, it's always like, what if it were snow, right? If it was, this would be a pretty big snow system for us It's not though. Warm temperatures. It's just rain. But if we did see if it was snow, it'd be a nice at least a half a foot of snow. If it was snow, of course. Just rain though. But it's always a question I think about this time of year. Now, looking ahead, we've got some more things to talk about as we head towards the end of the week. I personally have really enjoyed the warmer weather. Thursday, I thought was gorgeous with the sunshine, the warmer temperatures there. But some people want that cooler-like feel this time of year, right? And while it is briefly cooler on Monday, still going to be a little bit breezy there on Monday, we're still in the 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. I would actually encourage you to enjoy that, especially the sunshine on Tuesday, because once we cool down by the end of this week, I think that cooler air is going to stick around for a while. As we take a look at your 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, this is given to us by the Climate Prediction Center. They are predicting a cool down for, I think, the rest of January, if not even into the beginning of February. So cooler conditions expected as we go towards the end of this week and even through the end of the month. And I wanted to show you just how far south this cool down goes here, because a lot of people, snowbirds that want to head to Florida for some warmer weather. This week, the end of this week, it's going to be cold everywhere, even down into Florida as well. So this cold blast that's going to be here is going to impact a lot of the lower 48, the Midwest, and even down into Florida. They're going to be cooling down quite a bit with this system. But I do want to point out, the next thing that we're going to be watching here after this rain is a system by Thursday. And right behind that system, what we know right now for sure is that behind the system on Thursday, things cool down. You can obviously see that in your 10-day forecast, right? Highs are in the 20s and 30s on Friday. Thursday, though, we've got to keep an eye on this system here, because right now there's still a lot of uncertainty, because this time of year when it comes to these coastal systems, it all depends on the track and the timing. Right now it's still up in the air because it's so far out. But we're going to keep an eye on that system because it could be impactful. We're going to keep an eye on that, like I said. But right now, sometime late Wednesday into early Friday is kind of the time that we're looking at right now. We'll be able to narrow that down as it gets closer, and we'll be able to narrow down the impacts as well. If it's rain, if it's snow, if it's a little bit of both, we'll keep you updated there. But I would keep Thursday on your radar. Let's go ahead and show you as well your Shoreline 10-day forecast. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If not, then we'll wrap this up and talk more about it later. But that's kind of what we've got going on here. So there's your shoreline forecast. Looks like maybe another system by the end of next weekend as well. And next weekend is the holiday weekend there, because Martin Luther King Jr. Day is at the end of the 10-day forecast. But I do want to go ahead and show that precipitation, the satellite and radar one more time, because you can see it's getting pretty close. Again, this is at 10:26 this morning. Getting pretty close to New York City. We still have a couple of hours until it moves in. Again, it's really just showers here, but I don't know if anybody saw the little vertical videos that I posted yesterday, but it was about all of the forecasts for the 6 NFL games happening this weekend. This system that we're tracking that's going to bring us rain is actually expected to bring some showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms to North Carolina, Charlotte for the Panthers versus Rams game later on today. So that could be a weather impact for the game. And then you'll see that snow in Chicago. Packers are heading towards Packers are taking on the Bears in Chicago later on tonight. I think that system will be done, but it's going to be really chilly there. Not anything, record breaking, but it is going to be cold for that game, and windy. The Windy City definitely going to live up to its name there. Then tomorrow looks pretty chill for a lot of the area. So that is good news there. So we're looking at that rain, of course, like I said, 2 p.m. to about midnight or so, that will track that rain for you. And then a little bit breezy as we go through Sunday and Monday, mild Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll watch Thursday closely before that cool down is on the way. So I'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any questions, you can message us on social media, on YouTube, Facebook, whatever it might be. You can email us, shara@nbcconnecticut.com. If you have a rain gauge, send us those totals tomorrow morning and we'll share them on air as well, or photos of weather, or whatever it might be for the next few days. So we appreciate that. You can email us at Shareit, SHAREIT at NBCConnecticut.com. That's all I've got for you here on your Saturday morning. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later.